Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Backfire Simsport TV. And welcome back to the Simability V8ESC rounds 10 and 11 of season 12 from the magnificent Winton Raceway. I'm Clyde Whiting. In the booth with me tonight and on the cameras, it is Mr. Pete Bingham. Good evening.
Can't get myself off mute. Good evening, Clyde. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Winton.
Yes, and welcome to Pete, managing to get yourself off of the mute button.
Yeah.
So we are into rounds 10 and 11 already, Pete. And it's a tricky track for the drivers tonight. Winton is, a V8 track, but, we was talking off air, should it really be a V8 track? It's very tight. It's got many turns, and it has both the potential for awesome racing and an absolute nightmare, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. I can sense the race administration throwing a yellow in this one, because what we're looking at right there, funnily enough, turns 1 and 2, that first chicane, that is going to be a massive bottleneck straight away. And we saw a couple of races ago that we had to throw yellows because it bottlenecked up. It's a tight track, it's twisty. Pit lane entry is a nightmare because it's about 3 weeks to the pit road. There's a lot going on. It's a great track, don't get me wrong. A lot of people don't like it, though. It's not a favoured track, I don't think, on the network.
No, I don't think it is it? But it's on the schedule, and those that want to race it have got to race it to score some points. So here we are. It's only 1.86 miles long, which again doesn't help. But we've got both a sprint race and a feature race tonight. Obviously, double the points in the feature race. So drivers do have that opportunity, Pete, to if they do have a bad race one, they can sometimes make up the difference in race two.
Yeah, as we watched Johnny Brandon going a bit airborne coming out of the penultimate turn, I think that was. No, it was just before that. And then pulling up because of it. They've got that opportunity to recover a bad situation. We saw that a couple of weeks ago, like I said a minute ago. I'd like to think we wouldn't throw a yellow again. But there is that chance, that propensity for that to happen. Especially on a track as tight and twisty as this one. Hopefully people will realise that they have that opportunity to get their points back in the feature race if they have a bad sprint race. But we'll see. Yeah, we're over halfway through the system, so I always find this tip time because there's less still to come than there has already been, if you know what I
mean. Yes, you're right. But as I always say, we can't have a next season unless we finish this season. So, and there's still plenty of racing to come, and we'll go through the points now, and you'll see that there's everything to play for. We did race here last season. Vincent Skilbeck got his one and only win on home soil in the sprint race, and Adam Wright took away the win in the feature race. Adam Wright also took the lap record, which wouldn't surprise me if it gets beaten tonight, with a 1 minute 19.726. Simability Cup, Simon Trendle currently leads the way. Now I don't
not
think
here.
Simon is with us because he's
got no VR set. That's why he's not here.
Still waiting for that to come back, isn't he? He's on 556. Tyler Newitt is here on 554. And I'm just having a look down the list. I can't see Kenzie Newhoff either.
No, he's not.
And he's third on 453. Team Championship, XVR Holden 934, BSTV Esports Green 831, level with Team Chimera 831. The Logan Jackson Safe Driver Award, currently led by Tyler Newitt, with Nikolai Bogotyrev second and Victor Morjon in third. The Fred Bingham Forever Forward Award. Jamie McKnight leads the way with 60 positions gained. Kenzie Newhoff second with 47. Johnny Brandon third with 42. Driver of the season, Kenzie Newhoff has 3 votes, Simon Trendle 2, and then a plethora of drivers on 1, Rich Warmingham, Nikolai Bier, Johnny Brandon, Tyler Newitt, Stephen Phillips and Jamie McKnight. The head-to-head, that's into round 2, so drivers are facing off against each other in rounds 10 and 11. It is Simon Trendle versus Nicole Foggy, Johnny Brandon versus Victor Morjon, Kenzie Newhoff versus Nikolai Bogotyrev, Jamie McKnight versus Ant Woodward, Tyler Newitt versus Bob Woodhouse, Steve Lavalley versus Marco Namela, Adam Wright versus Jamie Wilson, and Stephen Phillips versus Rich Warmingham. And last time out, we was at Watkins Glen for an endurance race. Tyler Newitt took away the win with Johnny Brandon second and Adam Wright in third. So that is everybody up to date. We are currently, 7 minutes into the qualifying session. And Johnny Brandon sits on provisional pole, Pete, the only driver in the 118s at the moment.
Yeah, what time did you say was the track record from last time? Sorry.
A 19.726.
Boom, that's gone straight away. He's annihilated it. In fact, everybody has. All the way down to 14th, 13th, sorry, Jamie Wilson.
Yeah, don't forget it has to be a race lap.
Yeah, true enough.
Qualifying lap.
Yeah. Obviously, these guys are on really good rubber and low fuel. Oh, as everybody decides to bail out at turn 2. So there you go. Hopefully that won't happen to those 2 individuals during the race. But yeah, I think we're up for the chance to destroy some times here. These guys have got yet another year of experience. They seem to be enjoying these cars this year a lot more than they have done in previous years, Klein.
Yeah, I think you're right. Whatever happened to them in the off-season has certainly suited a lot of the drivers. Here's a question for you, Pete. Sajax.
That's Simon, by the way. He's sulking because he's got no VR headset.
Yes, so he's certainly too posh to race on screens. So yeah, he said he's here watching but sulking. Or actually, he might be a northerner because he's here watching but sulking.
No, he's very, very southern.
I'm
going to suggest.
Hey, sorry I can't participate this evening. Good luck all. Guess what? Guess who's just gone to provisional pole.
Oh.
On home soil.
And in a different livery, is he?
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
What's that about? Can I get a close up of that?
I was going to say, yeah, can we have a look
there
at
we
that?
go. It's still a wheelie bin, this one. But that's very different. I like it.
Yeah, not as colourful as it was before, is it?
No, I mean, the other one, when you looked away, it was still there. Oh, where's he gone? That wonderful Australian connection. Simon says he can't get much further south, so clearly he's
French.
so southern he's French, as they say in the north. Bonjour, Simon. Yeah, Johnny relegated to second. Do you know their times are identical?
I've got an 8.86 for Vincent and 8.89 for Johnny.
I've only got it down to 2 decimal places.
Yeah.
So you can't get any closer.
Doing well. Look at Bob Woodhouse up there in provisional third.
Yeah, he's in pits at the minute. Adam Wright's very close to his time though, and we know that Adam's rapid. It's very, very BSTV and XVR at the top, isn't it? With a splash of wheelie bin and a splash of NQR.
Yeah, but if you look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 drivers within a second.
Oh, that's crazy. And we've got some of the newer drivers to our league in there as well. So we've got Dale Green and Nikolai Pierre getting shuffled down a little now. I mean, they're starting to show their colours now, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't know how much experience they had with the V8.
No, it's hard to
You know,
tell, isn't it?
whether they drove the V8 elsewhere and decided to join the league because they liked the car, or whether they'd seen the league and liked the look of the league and decided to learn the car. You never really know. But yeah, you're right. They're certainly getting to grips with it, aren't they? We are missing the other new driver, though, aren't we?
Silas, is it?
Yes.
Crash Vomit.
Crash Vomit. Yeah, he's not here tonight.
No, he's not. I think he joined late last time. But I think we are going to start with 23 drivers, which is still a decent field. You do find that halfway through, some drivers decide they can't win it and don't come back. So lots have got other commitments, haven't they? There's other leagues to run in. There's some people with no VR headsets.
Yeah, and as we were saying, you know, a lot of drivers don't actually like this track.
Yeah, true.
So Mike Frost on the chat says this will be tough for the drivers to be patient. Yeah, they don't really do patience, do they?
No, they don't tend to. It has to be said.
We have sprint races, we have feature sprint races, and we have endurance sprint races.
Yes, we do. Alejandro Simability has just joined the session, so we're up to 24 now.
Yes, but I think we lost PVG.
Oh, Pete Van Gool. Yeah, I think you're right. He's gone. So we'll see how many we start with. At the moment, we've got half the field on track.
Another new provisional pole sitter in Tyler Newitt.
Yep. He's just bagged it, and he really has just by like, what's that? 3, 4, 10 hundredths. Sorry, hundredths. There is literally nothing really in the top 3 at the moment.
No, that's right.
I think Johnny Brandon was probably high-fiving himself at one point and then went, damn it!
Yeah. Yeah, well, he was 2 tenths ahead of everybody, wasn't he? So...
He was, yeah. Right then. I'm just going to go and sort out whatever that noise was. Keep talking for a minute. I'll be back very shortly.
Not a problem. So we are inside the final 2 minutes of this qualifying session. Can anybody beat Tyler Newitt? So Tyler has done everything he can do. As he's now in pit lane, he's not going to be able to get out and put another lap together. Johnny Brandon is on track. You've got 10 seconds left in the session, and it will end abruptly. And there it is. Session is over.
Blimey, that was quick. Right. We'd better do a bit of this then.
Okay, so let's go through the starting grid for round 10. Tyler Newitt takes away pole position for BSTV Esports Green. Vincent Skilbeck in second for Wheelie Bins Mayhem Republic. Johnny Brandon in third for XVR Holden. Bob Woodhouse in fourth for NQR Europe, and Adam Wright in fifth for BSTV Esports Green. Steve LaValle is in sixth with Rich Warmingham seventh. Tony Kloosterman is eighth with Nikolai Bogotyrev in ninth. Jamie Wilson is 10th and Woodward 11th, and Nikolai Bier in 12th. In 13th is Dale Green with Jamie McKnight in 14th. Marco Lewert in 15th with Rob Venn 16th. 17th is David Fernandez. 18th, Chris Sherburn. 19th is Jason Haddington with Jamie Dejoux in 20th. 21st is Daniel Solo. 22nd is Ivan Bowmans. 23rd is PVG, but we don't think he's on the grid. And Alejandro Civiliano is 24th and last, as we wait for the cars to take the grid.
Yeah, so...
And whilst I get ready with a yellow...
yeah, I would prep it well, because I think there's going to be...
It's just prepped.
Whoa. I'm trying to find the most, like, optimal camera to see something happen a little bit further back.
Probably something that points towards the sky.
Yeah, we have had a few airborne cars in the recent past, it has to be said. I don't think there's any point in going to this one, because I might as well be on the moon. Good, not bad angle.
Don't forget, people, this is a 30-minute race. There is no pit stop required unless you got damage and you have to pit. Lights are coming on. Get ready for the tyre smoke. And we're away.
Dale Green did not grid.
Ooh, okay. Interesting. I think everybody got through.
Everyone's through unscathed. Stunning.
Unbelievable.
And look who's taking the lead.
It's the homeboy.
He's not out in the woo-woo, is he, or whatever they call it? Is it the whoop-whoop or the woo-woo?
Else. Jamie McKnight is putting a lot of pressure on.
Ooh, there's a lot of locking up going into turn 4.
Easily done, isn't it, with cold tyres and cold brakes?
Yeah, both he and Marco Lewert, who's got Taz on his car, for a Tasmanian feature on this livery, have moved up 2 places so far, Clive.
Yeah, I was just deleting deleting the caution just in case I pressed the wrong button.
Jason Haddington out in the woo-woo.
Okay, so drivers starting to settle in, things starting to warm up. Drivers getting a good look at the cars in front of them, seeing where they are better or worse, if that's the case, and starting to plan a move, which is not entirely easy round this track, Pete.
No, unfortunately, it's one of those tracks where you've got to almost move the other car off their line, and that leads to tears.
Yeah, it does, and also in the back of the driver's mind is, to get past somebody, you're probably going to have to go offline, and with the cars bunched up, you go offline and somebody else goes, thank you very much, and fills that space, and you can get hung out to dry.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a bit of a gap building at the front here for that wheelie bin.
Yeah, it must be that new livery.
Yeah, the Go Faster Gold.
So
very close race.
Winton had his first win at this track. I don't really want to put the commentator's curse on him, but if he gets the second win at this track as well, then we're going to have to probably do some sort of deal where we never race at this track again.
Yeah. We tried that once before, didn't we? We didn't quite make it stick, but I can't remember who that was now. I think it was Foggy at Phillip Island or something.
I think it was Chris Jackson at Phillip
Oh,
Island.
it was.
And Foggy
Sorry,
at
yeah.
Bathurst.
Yeah, it was definitely Chris at Phillip Island. That was funny, that. Oh, Jamie Wilson getting lots and lots of pressure. I can only think that that was something that he did. We've had a few cars go extra curricular.
Ooh.
Whoa, that was big.
Yeah,
Oh, he's going to have to give that up.
He's got a
Oh,
lot
is
of
he?
curb there.
No, he's
got
going to
the
keep
inside
it.
for this one, yeah.
So that is Ant Woodward hanging off his outside, but Ant's got a really good line onto this corner.
Yeah, both drivers are hanging well on the outside, but that's a done deal now.
Yeah.
French Simon says it's almost impossible to pass here without a mistake or the car head being held up.
Yeah, something going on way further back there with RWC on RWC. Back here with JB, that was Jason Haddington taking a position, I think. We've got quite a gap back to Ivan, who's been off track more than once. PVG and Alejandro did not grid.
No.
And nor did Dale Green, but he's moved. He's back here actually with JB. So I'm not sure why he didn't take to the grid. Maybe he was being a bit cautious.
Johnny Brandon has got past. Oh, something's happened to Tyler because he's gone from second to fourth.
Yep. No, actually, Alejandro did join the race, but he's jumped to the grid. Jumped to the pits. I have nothing on my timing screen for Tyler. So whatever happened, it must have been a wheel spin or something.
Okay, well, I will have a rewind.
No, that was less interesting than I expected it to be.
And see if I can work out what happened.
Go on.
So, over the start finish line. Yeah, it looks like into turn one, Johnny goes down the outside. Tyler's run a bit wide, which has also let Adam through.
Right, let's have a look at it. I've now found said incident, I think.
So Johnny will go up the inside here.
Nice.
Nothing forceful, but Tyler's trying to carry a bit too much speed around the outside. Johnny's there.
Tyler tried to turn in, but there was a car there, so that was never going to work. Nice work. That was good. Don't know about this one. It's all happening. It's the same every time, Clyde. They're quiet for ages, and then they just want to annoy me by like doing everything at the same time. Ooh, that was weird. Brake bias there for Kylie.
Yeah, that was started to look like a big send, didn't it? And then I think he thought better of it, hit the brakes a bit harder, and lived up to his name. JB's got a lot of damage on his car though. And into the pit lane.
Yeah, into pit road. This was something else that recently happened. Oh, it was a pit lane overtake, of course, wasn't it? Oh, no, it wasn't. Jamie Wilson must have a slowdown there.
Oh, it looked like a big wiggle to me.
A big wiggle, right.
Yeah.
I have one of them if I have too much to drink.
Yeah, Jamie Wilson going backwards at the moment.
Yeah, quite a lot, actually. Well, he's back one position from his start, but then he moved forward at the start, so it looks like it's worse. Out in front. The wheelie bin is getting caught. He had that gap up to just over a second before.
Is it possible for you to get the gap on the
Sorry,
screen?
yeah, just realised.
Yeah.
I don't know why that one's come on. There we go. Sorted. Back here. The battle in front is the one I wanted, actually. Rich Warmingham and Tony Kloosterman. They're very balanced this year, aren't they? Rich Warmingham's had some really good results.
Yeah, he's. What can you say about Rich Warmingham? I can remember when Rich Warmingham first started in this series, and to show you how bad he was, I used to have some really good battles with him. But now,
wow,
yeah, totally different driver, isn't he?
oh yeah.
You know, you know, if he wins a race, you don't really talk about it because you expect him to win races these days.
You do. He's a totally changed driver, to be honest.
It's the XVR grip hack, I reckon.
Yeah, that stable's good though, isn't it? It does create some really, really good races. And here's one of them who's caught Vince.
Yeah, but it's not going to be easy to pass, is it? You know, can Johnny pressure Vincent into a mistake? I don't think Vincent's that sort of driver. We've seen him make mistakes in traffic, haven't we?
Yeah.
And we've seen, you know, his high ping rate affect him sometimes. But out front, I don't think he's going to make a mistake, if I'm honest.
Oh, that is a nice attempt at an overtake. Is he going to make it stick through
Nikolai,
this
isn't
corner?
it, on Marco Lewert?
No, yeah, Nikolai, yeah. We've got two Nikolais now, which is what I stumbled on.
Ron Ven's getting interested in this as well.
Yeah. That's for 13th place, that is. There's a whole load of XVRs and NQRs here. Sort out your 3-digit acronyms and you'll be fine.
Yeah. So you've got NQR Bob Woodhouse, XVR Steve Lavalley, NQR Tony Kloosterman, XVR Rich Warmingham, and then NQR Ant Woodward and Nikolai Bogotyrev. So yeah, other paints are available.
Oh, look at this, he's nearly pushing him around the corner. This is first place.
Evening to King Alan on the chat. Alan the Whittler.
I want to know if I want to know if Simon's in the boot in his Discord chat with Jamie, because that's what usually happens.
Do you reckon he's giving some wobbly coaching?
No, I think it's probably much more positive than wobbly coaching, which amounts.
There you go.
Oh, that is so close. Oh, and he's locked up. He's locked up.
He has. He's forcing into a mistake. Vincent goes down to third because Adam Wright gets through to second.
That was opportunistic at best from Adam Wright. Yeah. That was really good.
Well,
sorry, I'm having to switch.
Yeah, it's one of those tracks, isn't it? If there is, you know, half a chance, you've got to try and make it into a full chance.
Yeah, at the very same time that was going on, this one happened. I don't know whether it's... Oh, it must be good, because look how far back he is. What's going on here? What's Bob Woodhouse done? Oh, he's out the corner.
Yeah, he's turned into the Drift King.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to see that one just to see what was going on.
Well, Tyler Newitt is now pressurising Vincent. Vincent may have some overdone tyres.
I was going to say, I bet you can fry eggs on them at the minute.
Mike Frost on the chat says, yeah, that was pressure. It certainly was.
Right. Unbelievable, that.
I'll tell you what's real pressure, sitting here commentating with no cake.
Is that a loaded statement to Katie, is it?
It might have been. Just in case she's watching. I have been promised cherry bakewell muffin with custard tonight.
All right, okay. I made my own steak and ale pie this afternoon. That'll go down well at some point tomorrow. Rob Venn hunting around to try and get a position here.
Yeah, so Nikolai obviously got past Marco and disappeared.
Yeah.
Well, he's not that far ahead, but
Not too much, but yeah, he's done the job, hasn't he?
yeah. Tyler's still pressurising Vincent, but I'll keep an eye on that battle, let you know if anything happens.
Yeah. The XVR NQR train still continues to choo-choo along. They're all very close. Rob then looking like he's going to do something here. Maybe in 10 or 20 laps time. What's happened there?
Made another mistake.
What's happened there? Right, let's have a look at this. I know you were watching it. I know you were watching it. So this is the back straight, really, isn't it? You could call it.
Yeah.
And he's tucked it into the penultimate corner too
Yeah,
hot.
he's not. Yeah.
Has he lost 2 positions? Yes.
He has. Yes. Perhaps he was worried about us taking the track off of the schedule, so he decided not doing it.
Now, Steve O'Valley has got a position on him, but he's miles back from when it happened. Oh, right, yeah, he's just taking it there on the corner. Right, okay. Me being dull-witted, never mind. It's not the first time in my life. Rob Venn.
Adam Wright is staying with Johnny Brandon, which is nice to see.
Yeah, he's hovering around half a second back. Rob Venn seems to have good grip under that Holden at the moment. Much more than Marco Lower in front of him right now, at least. But Marco seems to take the faster line through the corner. Further forward.
Rob Venn is a good driver.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Quality.
It will take him a while to get anywhere in these cars, but when he does, he will be consistently up in that top 10. Tyler's got a nice gap of 2 seconds back to Steve LaValle.
Yeah, he's got a little bubble around him, hasn't he? He's got 2 seconds ahead, 2 seconds behind. This is now where the action's at, right here, and with Rob Venn further back, but Rob Venn's dropped off the back of Marco a little at the moment. Looking at the timing.
In front of this battle that we're watching, Bob Woodhouse is going to be the next one to try and put pressure onto Vincent Skillbeck.
Unlike in previous races or other races, nobody's got a massive amount of positions yet. The most is Adam Wright on 3 forward positions, and Dale Green's got -5. We saw Dale Green have some... Oh, he started from pit road though, didn't he?
Yeah.
So it's against his grid spot, so that's why that is.
Don't forget, feature race coming up after this one. That's a 60-minute race, and the top 10 are reversed from the finishing order of this race.
Which means Nikolai Bogatyra at the moment, who is in your shot nearly there, is currently commanding pole position for the next race. Right then, Rob Venn getting closer again, and they are bringing in... who is that? Nikolai Pierre just in front.
Nikolai, yeah. Yeah, he was pulling away, wasn't he? But unless he's made a mistake somewhere that we haven't seen.
Right, it really does look like Rich Warmingham is sizing himself up for, what is that going to be? That's going to be 7th place. These two swapped off the grid, and they've been kind of squabbling about it ever since.
Well, there's 6 NQR cars there in 8 cars. 7 cars even, sorry.
Yeah. Crazy. Oh. Rob Venn. Oh, Rob's having the dive. Oh, no. Oh, God.
He got that under control, didn't he?
Oh, just about.
I don't know how much Marco Lewert would have seen of that, but if he could see that out of his side window, I think a little bit of poo would have come out then.
Yeah. Pass me my blood pressure pills, will you? JB has had a couple of excursions, by the way, and so has Nikolai Bier, just to keep you up to date, folks.
That could be why Marco and Rob Webb are closed on Nikolai.
Right.
It's getting closer at the front.
Oh, it really is, yeah. Adam is putting a massive amount of pressure on previous championship winner Johnny Brandon.
Yeah, I think I'm right in saying Johnny is a triple champion, but I am just going to check my own stats.
Johnny's got damage.
Johnny is a 4-time champion. I do apologise.
Wow.
He won seasons 4, 5, 7 and 9.
Well, he's got damage on the left-hand side of his car. I don't know whether I can get a better angle on that or not. But he's got scrape marks down that left-hand side, just at the rear wheel arch.
Yeah.
Bit of folded in fairing, I think.
That could have been the Tyler incident, maybe.
Yeah, there it is. You can see it clearly there, look.
Well, it looks a bit too much damage for that Tyler incident.
Yeah, no, that's not from there. I don't know where that's from.
A wall?
No, he's not been that far off track, surely. Given the fact that he's leading the race.
I don't think there's any walls or very close.
So that, I think that must have been Alejandro. Yeah, letting everybody through, that's good. That's someone who's watching his relative, which is always good. Rich warming him again. Pressure. On to Tony Kloosterman, who's wise to it, I think. Turning in early to make sure that there's no opportunity for a send or a dive bomb. But like Simon was saying on the chat, you've got to make your positions, haven't you?
Toby's not an easy driver to pass either, is he?
No. Many years of experience in there. He's probably driven postal vans over his time as well and got in other people's way on the normal roads, hasn't he?
I would have thought so, yeah.
Rob Venn slowly dropping off the back of Marco Lewert, much further back now.
I think again, Rob has probably got some quick tyres, so
yeah,
he needs to keep it under control for 2 or 3 laps. Oh, excuse me.
JB Dejoux has been off track a little bit again, further back.
Nobody's too worried about incident points at the moment. We're under 9 minutes to go in this round 10 sprint race.
Yeah. Adam had closed in somewhat on our race leader. Do you know what? This is a bit refreshing, Clyde. We've had to put the cameras on the race leader for a few laps each time.
Yeah, and well, shall I say it? Yeah, let's say it. Johnny Brandon is still going.
Yeah, he's not been caught up in anybody else's accidents or one of his own, which is novel for this season, I think. He has had wins, though, hasn't he, this year? So.
Oh, has he? I don't know.
Yeah, he won one. I don't know whether you were in that commentary. That might have been me and Wobbly.
Yeah, possibly missed that one. This season, Jenny Knight has won a race. Johnny Brandon has won a race.
Yeah, I thought so.
Has won 2. Marco Nemela has won 2. Foggy has won 1. Rich Warmingham has won 1. And Tom Hewitt has won 1.
It's all very busy here in the NQR XVR race. And that, just ahead of them, believe it or not, is our pole man. So, pole didn't really work out for Vincent this time, did it?
Nicole Foggy on the chat. Insider data. Johnny's scared of Adam.
That's brilliant.
He's not racing, he's running away.
That's brilliant. Good lad.
You could only ever be scared of Adam if you've seen his legs.
Oh, yeah. Milk bottle white, folks. Well, apart from after they'd been in the sun for 32 seconds.
Wind.
In the wind, sorry,
wind.
in the wind. Oh, hang on. What's going on here? Ooh, that's a Rob Venn.
Yeah. I think I called it right.
I think you did.
Sensible laps, cooling his tyres down again. Now has Marco. I think Marco
Got offline a little, but not much.
He's not trying to defend, is he? He's on the
No.
wrong side to defend. I think Rob just got a better run out of the corner.
Yeah, and Rob left him miles of room as well. Very generous. So let's go back into the XVR NQR battle.
Yeah, up the front, Johnny Brandon is stretching that lead out to about a second.
Oops, sorry. Wrong car.
Well, this is Jamie McKnight and Jamie Wilson.
Yeah, otherwise known as Team Jamie. I thought he was going to do more with that. Jamie Wilson's just said, nah, I'm off. See you later.
Oh. Is that JB on the grass?
It was, yes. Do you want to see it?
Yeah.
It's always,
No, I just
good
caught something out the corner of my eye.
Yeah, your eagle eyes spotted it well. Too wide, is he?
Yeah, drifted out there, didn't he?
Yeah, it's about an hour back to the track from there,
Yeah.
isn't it?
That's a horrible feeling once you get over there. Because you're like, do I turn left and go back on the track? Oh no, there's cars coming. Oh, let's go across this like million-acre field. Oh no, there's still cars. No,
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to
I'll
wait
park
here
it.
now.
I'll park it. I get a burger off the dude in the Marshall stand there.
I wonder if they've got the cameras on me. Can they see this?
Nah, they'll not put the cameras on me. It's fine.
Oh, there's a gap. Let's go. Done the shopping.
Sorry, JB. Love you. Gap at the front has stretched a little bit more, Clyde.
Yeah, you know, I know that was a comical comment from Foggy, but he might be right. You know,
Yeah.
The luck that Johnny Brandon's had this season, you know, maybe he's just driving the gonads off of that car because he doesn't want anyone anywhere near him.
Yep. It'll be, I don't know what he's going to do in the next race because he'll be right in the middle of it all, but I think you're right. He's definitely trying to keep clear of any chance of getting nerfed or someone sending it on him. He's got to the front in good style, actually. The overtake that he did was brilliant. And now he wants to keep it. Nothing wrong with that.
And, you know, Adam Wright won't be too upset with second. You know, qualified, what, fifth?
Oh, I thought Ivan was going to take
Yeah.
massive advantage there, and he might still, because he's got a good drive here on Daniel Solo. Is he like Han Solo? Does he drive the, you know, the Millennium Falcon, you think? Whoa! Not like that, he won't. Sorry. I do get very heavily involved in these races. People might have noticed this.
Now, is he a teammate with Chewie Sherburne? So we got 2.5 minutes to go.
Oh, why did I look away? Why did I look away? Really? I think I blinked.
Yeah, I'm guessing that was another sideways moment.
It seems like he's overdone his rears, doesn't it? Definitely. So he's
Oh,
gone.
yeah, he's well wide.
He went super wide,
Yeah.
scared the hell out of Ivan, and then
Yeah.
if
Just
we
didn't have any drive, did he, once he'd got wide?
no, but then Ivan threw it back.
Oh, so he did,
Yeah. No, after you. No, after you. No, after you.
I wanted to smash you off the track to get past, so
Yeah,
let's
get
have
back in
another go.
front. Yeah. This is getting hot.
Tasty.
Yeah.
Is that Rich Warbigan still putting pressure on Tony Kloosterman? Vincent has scarpered a bit, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think these guys squabbling a little have allowed him to get away. It's getting a bit hotter back here where Rich Warmingham is. He's still not managed to do anything about Tony Kloosterman though. He's like...
No, but he's got 2 NQR in front and 2 behind, hasn't he? They could just close ranks on him here.
Yeah. He's going to think he's got them tattooed on his eyeballs. Isn't he?
He'll be shouting that the paint pack's wrong.
Yeah. What's that Nicole's saying? Looks like Adam had real nice pace, perhaps just overheating his tyres more than Johnny. They are, and yeah, he's pointed out that they are difficult exits from some of these corners. Just loads of people getting ready to battle right at the death of this one. We are last lap now.
Yeah, this is the final lap.
Right at the end of it.
Johnny Brandon looks like he's going to take another victory. Mary Jackson has joined us on the chat.
That's Jason Addington there, desperately trying to stay a lap ahead. Or stay on the same lap, rather.
All depends on whether you're enjoying the track or not, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
If I've had a torrid time, I will let the leader pass you so I don't have to do another lap. But here we go. Jason Haddington is going to take the victory. Oh no, sorry. Johnny Brandon is going to take the victory. Adam Wright comes home second and Tyler Newitt in third. And then everybody else, oh no, Vincent fourth and about 17 cars in fifth.
Yeah, no, they are super close together back here. Unbelievable. This is
Yeah, by the end of that race, we almost had a car on every part of the track.
I know, yeah, look at the track map, it's crazy. This is still on this. Ivan's desperate now to get just one more position. He's got track to do it as well. He's got a terrible drive out of that corner though, compared to Daniel.
I think he locked up going into it, didn't he?
He did. That's Alcantech, not highly rated. We thought that was, didn't we, last time?
Yeah. I think that's official now.
Oh, right, okay. Not managing it though, is he? Daniel's kept that going. He's done well there.
Yeah, and Kylie Haddington is going to be the last one to cross the line after doing his victory lap.
Yeah. Right. Oh dear, that was some effort. That like. Right, where are we?
Well, certainly a lot cleaner than I thought it was going to be. But then, you know, top of the show, we did say it either provides us with fantastic racing or an absolute nightmare. That was fantastic racing. But your winner for XVR Holden is Johnny Brandon. Adam Wright comes home second for BSTV Esports Green. And the same team, Tyler Newer in third. Stephen Valley comes home fourth for XVR Holden. And Vincent Skilbeck, after leading the race, finishes fifth for Wheelie Bins Mayhem Republic. Then we go into NQR World. So sixth was Bob Woodhouse, NQR Europe. Seventh, Tony Kloosterman, NQR. Eighth, Rich Warmingham, NQR Holden. Ninth, Ant Woodward, NQR Europe. 10th, Nikolai Bogatyrev, NQR Europe. And then 11th, Jamie Wilson, Team Chimera. 12th was Jamie McKnight, NQR. 13th was Nikolai Bier, Alcantech NHR Esports. Rob Venn was 14th, BSTV Esports Green. And Marco Lewert in 15th for VTS Red. In 16th, David Fernandez for Gone Broke Racing. Chris Sherburn 17th, same team. And Dale Green 18th, same team. Daniel Solo, Alcantech NHR in 19th, and Ivan Batman's Track Velocity Racing in 20th. Jason Haddington 21st for RWC Racing, and JB Deju in 22nd. Alejandro Sevillano had some issues with a late start but came home 4 laps down in 23rd, and PVG didn't start. So Nikolai Bogatyrev gets the pole position, Pete, for round 11.
Yeah, that's pressure, isn't it? He's done this before though. He's led off pole, so I don't think there's going to be any issues there as we watch Alejandro, the only driver, no, not quite the only driver, to do some practice laps. We've got quite a few out actually now, all of a sudden. So yeah, it's pole in a league like this where you've got such massive talent following you. That's difficult, right? I expect him to be parked at the side of the road trying to clutch start. You know what I mean? Just not trying to get wrecked or whatever.
It's a tricky. It can be a tricky situation, can't it? It's, you know, do I go steady and try and help the faster drivers get past me and settle into the position that I think I should be running, or, you know, do I go for it? Do I race these guys? And there isn't a correct answer, is there? Because, you know, we've seen, you know, the likes of, he's not a slow driver, but can you remember JP Bouzelan? I remember him winning a race from a reverse pole. What was the rate?
What?
Was it you?
What?
That came second to somebody?
I came second to Nikolai at Barber after doing a reverse grid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think what I'm saying is, you know, crap drivers can do well.
He was such a knob. Such a knob.
What I'm actually saying is, you know, it's a tricky situation to be in, because if the stars align, you can get yourself a really, really good finish, especially on a track that is really, really difficult to overtake. But if the stars don't align, by racing these faster drivers, you can end up either A, having an accident, or B, just being so much slower that you would have been better off letting them go in the first place. Yeah. So it's always a real tricky one.
It's especially on a track like this. It's tight, it's twisty. Do you really ever get away properly? I think we proved in that one that Johnny Brandon probably got away only on the basis that he had better tyres by the end of it than Adam did. I think it's a tough one to call, to be honest. I think they've said it a few times on the chat. Tough to pass. You know, if you can get rid of the understeer, you're doing a brilliant job and all that sort of stuff. When you're talking about things like that, it means that overtaking is very difficult. Do you think, therefore, that we're going to end up with another feature race, sprint race, or do you reckon this is actually going to be a feature race where people take their time?
This will be a 1 hour sprint.
A
Without
1 hour
a doubt.
sprint, right?
Yeah. I I don't think the drivers do it on purpose. I think it's the nature of the car that it's not that often that you get a run. So when you do get one, you have to try and make the most of it, and that's what makes it look like a sprint race instead of a feature race.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then throw in this track into that equation. You know, a track that is notoriously hard to pass on. So if a driver in front of you makes that one and only mistake that they're going to make in a 60-minute race, you've got to go for it. You can't wait for another opportunity.
No, this is true. I mean, 1 hour's not that long, really, is it? Not for a V8 race. You know, we used to do very long enduros, didn't we? And then reduce them down to 2 hours. So
it's actually a lot shorter when you're racing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
No, you're right. Yeah.
You're so concentrated on taming the beast, and you know, trying to remember your braking points and where you're shifting and everything else, that you sort of look up at the clock and you're like, where did that 20 minutes go? And then I would look at the clock, ask myself where the time had gone, make a mistake because I wasn't 100% concentrating because I'd looked at the clock, make myself concentrate again, look up, and I'm like, then my crew chief would be screaming at me that I need to pit, and I'm like, really? It's only like 20 minutes gone, and you're like 35 minutes into the race, and you're like, Jesus, where is this time going? Then if you're in VR, you're trying to wipe the sweat out of your eyeballs as well, so you know, there's all sorts going on.
I don't understand how you guys do the whole VR thing. Forgive me, but you do complain about things like sweat in your eyes, it's too hot, my eyes are burning, my head's hurting because, well, my neck's hurting because my head's trying to hold this massively heavy thing on my head. I feel seasick, I feel travel sick, there's all sorts that people complain about. The triple's just not as good. Whoa! Sorry, just watching Bob Woodhouse slide sideways.
Personally, VR for me was just an absolutely awesome experience.
But said was if you know what I mean.
As in, because I'm not racing at the moment.
Oh, right. I thought you'd binned it. Right. Okay.
My personal opinion is, for the experience, it is better than triples. Right. However, triples make your life easier because you can still see things. Yeah. You can see your keyboard to press buttons. You know, there's that sort of thing. I think when I get back into it, I am going to go for one of these big wraparound screens and see how that sort of weighs up against VR. And I'm sort of hoping that, I don't think the experience will be quite as good because, you know, ultimately I can still see the man cave walls and things like that. But I'm hoping it's going to be a little bit more realistic than triples. But then, you know, triples, I suppose it depends on how big you've got, how you've got them set up. Is your nose pressed up against the screen? Are your side ones around your lug holes? And you know, people like different things, don't they?
They do, yeah.
But yeah, I must admit, I do enjoy VR. It's just, it's just the fact that, well, I told you before, I've told the viewers before, I had an itchy knee. And
that was so
in
funny.
My car,
I was in that race.
I can see my virtual legs, and I've tried to scratch my virtual knee. You know.
All I heard was "ow!" I was like, "Oh my god, what's he done? Has he fallen off his rig?" Oh, we're going to check it here in this warm up. Hopefully, everybody was paying attention to that. Nearly a lap on board there with Bob Woodhouse.
Yeah, and French Simon is saying triples, better clarity and comfort, VR, everything else, which I can't disagree with.
No, that does
So,
sound good.
let's get your starting grid for our feature race, which is round 11. Nikolai Bogatyrev is on pole for NQR Europe, and NQR Europe again in second with Ant Woodward. Rich Warmingham third, XVR Holden. Tony Kloosterman fourth, NQR. And fifth, Bob Woodhouse, NQR Europe. That's all three of them in the top five.
Oh yeah.
Vincent Skilbeck is sixth, Steve Lavalley seventh, Tyler Newitt eighth, Adam Wright ninth, and the sprint race winner Johnny Brandon in 10th. Then we have Team Jamie. Jamie Wilson in 11th, Jamie McKnight in 12th.
Swear I just pressed that wrong button. Sorry.
In 13th is Nikolai Bier. In 14th, Rob Venn. 15th is Marco Lewert. 16th is David Fernandez. 17th is Chris Sherburn. 18th, Dale Green. 19th is Daniel Solo. 20th is Ivan Batmans. 21st is Jason Haddington. 22nd, JB Dejoux. And 23rd, and yes, I can see him on the grid, it's Alejandro Sevillano. PVG will not be in the race. So, who am I going to keep my BDI? I'm going to keep my BDI on Johnny Brandon for this start.
I'm going to place the cameras onto Tony Kloosterman because he's in fourth. That should give us... I'm going to go blimp cam for this start because I can't believe they're going to get around this corner all nice and tidy like they did last time. That was too lucky.
So let me get that caution flag ready, just in case, because it worked last time.
It did, yeah.
So can Vincent
Right,
Skilbeck go forwards? Lights coming on.
Oh, Vincent strobed in and out on his connection, and we are go.
Ooh, who was that in fourth? Rich Warmingham had a terrible start.
Nikolai's
so did one of the NQR cars. But they were around again.
Yeah, what's going on here?
Oh, oh.
What are you seeing?
Nikolai Bier. It's all right, nothing happened, but he got a bit crossed up in front of traffic, but got it under control.
Ooh, who was that? That was that a Tyler Newitt? Or was it an Adam? I think it was Adam went deep into a corner.
He's still there.
Johnny Brandon takes a position away from Jamie Wilson there.
No, he didn't.
Did he not?
No.
Oh no, he's either taken that back then or they were just fighting on the same bit of tarmac. Further back here. Whoa, that's a nice overtake there from Alejandro. And in fact, who is that? David Fernandez to pit road. Did he have no choice? I don't know anybody that would want to go to pit road on lap one. So NQR Europe in positions 1, 2 and 6. NQR in positions 3 and 12.
Yeah, Rich Warmingham really struggled off the line.
Oh, there's an overtake going on ahead of him, maybe. No, yes, no, nobody knows.
Bumper cars there.
Yeah. Vincent Skilbeck stalking the group.
Tony's going to go past Anne.
Yeah, he's done that. A bit of a hip check there as well on his own team.
Rich Warmingham as well has tucked himself in there and said thank you.
Yeah, I think Ant Woodward was a victim of his own gaffer there.
Yeah, Ant did get a better run out of that corner, so should get that position back. Yes.
It's a tight train there, though, isn't it?
And wants this win. Warmingham wants past Ant Woodward.
Very, very much so.
A big stack of cars there behind this group.
Look at that, that just nose to tail, they're literally pushing each other around. There's about 11 cars there. Unbelievable. That is literally positions 3 through 14. Unbelievable, that. Welcome to BSTV, folks. Oh, hang on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's this? What's going on, Clyde? Because I don't know.
I honestly have no idea.
That's... I can't explain this. Why would Tyler Newitt be in pit road? Is this like the world's most massive undercut? Jamie Wilson's putting good pressure on Johnny Brandon here.
I am told that the earliest, it's a very short hill here.
All right.
Tell you what, French Simon could be right as it jump starts.
Oh. Thank you, French Simon, otherwise known as Simon. Oh, no, who's that? Oh! What's going on? That was Ant Woodward. Yeah, let's have a look at that again. Where did it start? I might have it here. Maybe I've got it wrong. Oh, Jesus, that was a big one.
Yeah, we needed to see the
Sorry.
lead up.
Yeah. Right, so here we go.
Rich is going to throw it down the inside. And it's going to
throw
it in.
There was not much in that. Oh, and it looked so much worse.
It did, didn't it?
Yeah, there wasn't much in it. There was the slightest of touches and it just sent him round.
And yeah, French Simon could be right on the jump start. However, just to throw something else into the mix, I am told that the earliest pit stop could have been on lap 8. Now, we know how good Tyler is at saving fuel.
He's not got a solar powered car though, has he?
Has he thrown a spanner in the works?
Do we need to drag him in and ask him? I think we should. He's down in 22nd at the minute.
Say, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I don't believe that theory. It gives him too much to do.
Sorry.
He's going to lose too much. Any time that he would gain, he's going to lose trying to get back through the field through most cars that are going to stop around halfway.
Yes.
So it's got to be a chance.
You know how unicorns don't exist? Well, Jason Haddington just took a position off somebody. Oh, okay. Because they were off the track.
You have to be in the right place at the right time.
Oh, what's he doing? Who was that? Was that Daniel?
That was weird.
It was Daniel. What happened here then? Let's have a look at this from Chopper
So he
Cam.
gets
I'll get back to the real racing in a minute. He
back
was
on the track.
over there. Oh, he was still off with his
He's still on the
tyres.
grass.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was like one of them Buckaroo things.
Yeah.
It was alive. It's getting tasty in here as well.
So that's Steve LaValle with Adam Wright behind him.
Rich Warmingham is just way back. I think he's had something else go on. He's been off track again, sadly. Dale Green focuses on the back of Van Woodward's car.
Go back and look at this start and see. Definitely a jump start
From Tyler.
from Tyler. Yeah.
Ah, right.
Yeah, he moved about 6 inches, stopped, and then went again. So yeah, that would have been a black flag.
Yeah. Well done, Simon.
Was it Simone at the weekend?
Oh, it could be. I mean, just behind where I was just watching, I was watching Steve LaValle because he's under pressure. But Adam Wright, Johnny Brandon, and Jamie Wilson, you can throw a very small handkerchief over all three cars.
Yeah, Jamie Wilson, he's putting a lot of pressure on Johnny Brandon. But after seeing what Johnny did in the first race, where it looked like he was saving his tyres and then pulled away from Adam in the second half of the race, is he trying to do the same thing here?
Maybe. I do believe that Ant Woodward has just posted the fastest lap of the race so far.
We've lost JB.
Oh. Oh, yeah. He had a couple of incidents, but I didn't think any of them were race defining, sorry. I've seen a few cars go too hot into that corner. That's the one where JB decided he was going to go extracurricular and parked it and everything else.
It is so inviting, isn't it? That corner?
Ivan looking at him like, yay, come to Papa. Look at this queue here, that's crazy.
Not mentioned, Nikolai still half a second in the lead.
And these two have got a healthy gap back to the wheelie bin.
They have.
There's your two lead cars, and then it's all the way back here to where Vincent is. And then, of course, you've got this rabble.
I'm impressed with Bob Woodhouse tonight at the moment. We've just lost Marco Lewert as well. He's just disconnected.
Oh, look at that. About literally 1 second before you mentioned it. He'd already been off track a minute ago, if you remember. Oh. This isn't what it said was going on with it.
Well, it's a weird one, isn't it? Because pit window is open, believe it or not.
Oh, really? Wow, that's early.
He's parked it and disconnected.
Yes, he has. Strangest thing ever. So, Vincent leads quite a significant train here. So he's got himself, Bob Woodhouse, Steve Lavalley, Adam Wright, Johnny Brandon, Jamie McKnight. Where is Jamie Wilson?
In the pits.
In the pits. Leaving the pits.
Yeah.
And you
I'm hoping people are not taking my word for it and saying that the pit window is open. I hope they have
Can you
actually
imagine?
worked it out.
Clyde said.
You said.
We had a race here. We had a race here in either GT4 or TCR, and the pit stops defined the race, if you remember. Whoever pitted the first ended up overtaking the entire field or something ridiculous.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's battles everywhere. Johnny Brandon to pit road. Now he was battling with Jamie Wilson, so I'm going to put the camera on Jamie. There are very close battles around. In fact, no, I'm not. I'm going to put it on Chris Sherburn because of this. Oh, dear me.
Close.
That was more than close. Right, there's Jamie Wilson, and there's Johnny Brandon. So Jamie, I think, has lost out a little there. Oh. Adam Wright under bags full of pressure from Steve Lavalley. And Woodward is piling the pressure onto Rob Venn. Rob Venn's doing good, isn't he?
He is, yeah.
I know there's a couple of cars behind him that have pitted as a scheduled pit stop, but that's only two, and he's currently in 9th place. Oh, and Woodward. It's catching, Clyde.
Yeah. I suppose, you know, as the track is so difficult to overtake on, if you can do something strategy-wise and make up some places in the pit lane, then they're all free positions.
Yeah, what do you do when your boss is behind you, eh? You've got cake.
Oh yeah.
Bob Woodhouse in the middle of a little sandwich here with Vincent Skilbeck ahead of him, Adam Wright behind him. We've got a bit of a gap back now to Jamie McKnight. We've got some gaps appearing in the field, so let's have a little on board with Johnny as he gets a little bit sideways, leaving a corner there. You can hear how off the gas he is because, as Foggy pointed out, getting that wheel spin, understeer, oversteer balance correct is critical on a track like this. You could argue it's critical on any track, but more so on a track where it's very tight turns. I'm just going to keep an eye on the timing screen because Jamie Wilson behind is just about to do Daniel Solo. He's around the outside, and I think Daniel's pulled out of that move, or rather out of the competition there. So we'll head back to Johnny Brandon, who is 9 seconds. Is that right? 9 seconds further up the road? Can't be. They were in the same screenshot a minute ago. Something bad's happened there. Oh, right. We'll have a look at that in a minute. So this is what fast looks like, folks. So let's go back to this, and then I've got to go and see what happened here, because this is a race-defining moment, I feel. Into the penultimate turn, and red hot straight on. Is that cold tyres, Clyde?
You wouldn't have thought his tyres would be cold now.
No. He's got a couple of laps on him, if not 3. Lack of concentration. Don't know. Johnny Brandon's just posted the fastest lap of the race so far, a 1:20.1.
Perhaps Simone sent him a picture.
Yeah. Hello, I'm Simone. So Adam Wright, definitely looking racy now. In fact, there's loads of raciness going on at the moment, even all the way back to this man. Tyler, naughty boy, knew it for jumping the start. He's got David Fernandez to overcome. Ooh, we've got an overtake going on as we speak. Is that Rich Wilmington round the outside of Ivan?
Yep.
I think it was. Awesome bit of racing from the pair of them, to be honest, because you don't normally overtake round the outside there. And that's what people were discussing earlier. You've got to do something very wild and different in order to get past on this track. As Adam Wright peels away into pit road. He's had enough of sitting behind there. Steve
Yeah, that's a bit of a no man's land pit stop, isn't it? You would think if you'd gone this far, you would possibly run it dry.
Yeah, yeah. It's right in the middle of everything, isn't it? Like you're saying, it's not one decision or the other. What? Oh, right. So next time I see a crash, Clyde, tell me it's not a crash because it's just people going in pit road because it says that Adam's crashed and he clearly hasn't. It's one of those iRacing SDK glitches, more SDK than iRacing, I would say. Nikolai and Tony, the leaders of your field tonight so far in this Simability race at Winton. I think Tony's keeping station to stop anything naughty happening, don't you, Clyde?
Yeah, possibly. I do like the fact that Nikolai is still in front and he hasn't just pulled over and let the team boss go through.
True, yeah. And Woodward getting fully sideways around some of these corners. What did we end up calling him? Was it Ansi or Stancy or something like that? Stant. Yeah. Tyler still not managed to answer the David Fernandez question. David doing a great job of defending, and he's well within his rights to do so. This is a race for position.
It certainly is.
Both have pitted. Tyler's got a great drive off that corner there, so that's sorted that equation out.
But to me, it's can Tyler save 4 laps of fuel, which is going to be very difficult. If not, he's going to need a splash and dash.
Well, he's going to need some marshals to push him around the track for a while, I think, because there's no way, as Adam Wright blasts past Chris Sherman, who, or he still owes us a pit stop, to be fair, so it's not a race he needs to be fighting.
No, but Adam Wright was ahead of Johnny Brandon. He's now a second and a half behind.
Oh, he is. Johnny Brandon, you can see them both in the shot there.
Which is why I called that pit stop a bit of a nothing pit stop. You either go early or you go late.
Yeah, and Woodward still applying the pressure on. You're right. There's all sorts going on at the moment again. It's Nikolai Pierre. It's another Alkin, not a highly rated car. We've seen so many do that same move, haven't we?
Yeah.
So many cars.
I wonder if it, this could just be me. The pit lane used to put me off.
Why? Because it goes out into the never never.
Well, it was like you thought that was the track,
Right.
and then by the time you realised that was the pit lane, you're like, oh no, there's a corner there.
This is our hotly contested position, this, and believe it or not, because so many cars owe us a pit stop still, this is 17th at the moment. I don't know what it is in real terms, as in if all the pit stops were paid.
Yeah, well, yeah, we was talking about Jamie's little excursion and what was going on, and Simone has just put just pain. So I don't know. I don't know if Jamie's in pain, Simone is in pain,
Simone
Jamie is a pain.
Yeah. Watching Jamie's driving's a pain.
Yeah, Simone is thrashing Jamie with a wet lettuce leaf pain.
Yeah. I'm getting all excited now. Oh, look at that. Again, this is for position. Whoa! Johnny, where are you going, son? Ivan's fighting him for it, and he's legitimately allowed to. This is for position. Kylie's in the pits. Oh, Kylie's in the pits because Kylie has to be in the pits, by the way.
Okay.
I'll show you that in a minute once Johnny is... What? Round the outside like that? What are you doing?
Yeah,
he glued his tyres down? On the previous one,
attempt.
yeah. Right, now that's done.
Lonesome.
Oh, ignore it. Sorry.
No,
it's another one of those where it
Oh.
records it as a crash and it's not. So apologies for that, folks. There's quite a few cars in pit road at the minute. Dale Green is in. Vincent Skillback is in, getting his tyres done. Rich Warmingham has just entered pit road. He's got damage on the right-hand side of his car from one of his altercations. So,
again, for me, Pete, these are nothing pit stops.
What, just in the middle of no man's land in the pit stop window?
Yeah, they're not.
Right.
For me, there's 3 opportunities to pit. As soon as the pit window opens, just before the pit window closes, or halfway through the race.
Yeah.
And pit stops happening now are none of those 3.
So, NQR clearly are allowed to race. Ish. Was that a... Oh, go on then, boss.
Yeah.
I think it was, wasn't it? Please don't fire me. Nikolai Bogatyrev from second place into the pits. Is he trying to catch his boss out or what? So we've got some big gaps built, but then some other ones. So Vincent's racing against Ivan here, but Ivan's not a lap down. He's not. He still owes his pit stop. Is what I'm trying to get out of my mouth. These two still wedded together.
Yeah, Nikolai has dropped behind Johnny Brandon, Adam Rowe, and Vincent Skillback.
Oh, he has, yeah. So leaving it late, the undercut is active here then, yeah?
Yeah. Like I say, if you're going to leave it late, leave it as late as possible so that when you come out, you're on brand new rubber and everybody's on wasted rubber.
Yeah.
And we're still not halfway through yet.
No. Still 27 minutes on the clock. What did you say that was the latest in terms of laps that you can pit? Or time, whichever one's the denominator.
Lap 37.
Wow, another 16 laps.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a huge window, isn't it?
and I'm sure somebody will do it.
Steve Lavallee has just entered pit road. So those top drivers that haven't paid us a pit stop yet, Tony Klusterman, Bob Woodhouse, Jamie McKnight, all NQR cars, then Nikolai Bier for Alcantech, not highly rated. Bob Woodhouse, no, Rob Venn even, for BSTV Esports Green, and Alejandro Sevillano for Hydra Race Racing Forces.
So basically the top 6
yeah.
still have a pit stop.
Oh, both of them went wide here. Both of them.
Yeah, I think one put the other off.
I think they did. He gets overtaken by his teammate, David Fernandez. Sorry, Chris Sherman, sorry.
Yeah, I think they could be 2 American drivers.
I think they are, maybe. I'm not sure what's giving it away there. Oh! You'll be glad we got that live on camera. Right then, Bob Woodhouse has entered pit road now. So some gaps have formed in the field. And Woodward is back on a chase of Johnny Brandon. But like you say, he was ahead of him, wasn't he? Once upon a time.
Who are you talking about?
And Woodward. Adam Wright.
Adam
sorry.
Wright, yeah. Yeah, Adam Wright did start in front of Johnny Brandon and stayed in front of him.
That was Daniel staying well out of the way of these two. So now only 5 left to give us pit stops, the top 5 on your screen. It'll be very interesting to find out where they come out and what kind of speed advantage they'll have on the tyres that they end up with. Ooh, Daniel Solo getting all kinds of out of shape there. Jamie Wilson's now closing on to, must be a very ailing Ivan Batman's now with the rubber that he's got under him.
Yeah,
he's
well,
not pitted.
Exactly halfway through now. So drivers pitting now are basically clueless as to pit strategy, as I was, and just used to go halfway.
Yeah, can't argue with that. I've done that before. Don't know what to do. Just halve it. Simple then, isn't it?
I'll get it wrong then, can you?
No. I have been through the mental argument of, well, surely pitting halfway is the most beneficial because then you get the best tyres for the entire race. You haven't overworked them, you haven't underworked them. Just crazy self-conversation.
You have to balance that off with fuel in the car, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, when Marco Nameli used to come in and like undercut everybody, my brain just went, no, can't do that. Can't calculate that one. That's not possible. Oh, that's good defending there from Ivan. Stays bolted to the inside. And again, I'm sure Ant Woodward is not happy, but tough. Ivan's getting in there. He's got himself some good screen time tonight, hasn't he?
He has, yeah.
There, he's let him go now. Yep. Oh, right. So we've got Nikolai Bier and Rob Venn in pit road at the moment. They'll start galloping down the timing screen. Also in is David Fernandez, but for a second stop, and I've got nothing on the event. Oh, I have got something on the event tracker.
Didn't David go on lap 1?
Yes, he did. It's only on my event tracker because he's entered pit road. It's one of those SDK things again, folks. Tyre marks on the grass there, which I think was this. I might be wrong. Yes, it was this. So Supart into the corner, bails out, takes the extreme line and rejoins nice and safe. So back, I say back here. Steve Lavallee, in my opinion, seems to be way out of position, Clyde. This is back in 15th after his pit stop. So
Yeah.
something's not worked out well for Steve this time. There's not enough people ahead of him that owe us pit stops in order to promote him back to where I would see him normally racing.
Well, that's very true. Johnny Brandon has caught Alex Sibilano, but at the moment can't get past him, which is allowing Adam Wright to close on Johnny.
Yeah, Ivan has just entered pit road, by the way. Steve Lavallee's just passed Dale Green, and Johnny Brandon is staring at the back of Alejandro's car.
Yeah, Johnny is willing him to take his pit stop.
Yes, he's saying please and thank you, isn't he? So, by my maths, Clyde, and I don't know whether you agree with this. Oh, high drama.
It's the leader in.
The leader's in, and he's in with a 30-second lead-ish. It's not enough, is it? It's not enough. Because Johnny Brandon is going to do these next two corners, even with a very short pit stop. It's going to be a miracle. If Tony can get out, are we going to see him in pit road? Yeah, we see him moving, but he's not anywhere near where he needs to be, is he?
Nope.
So the later stop does not work at Winton. Mental note for everybody who races here. And this is like a repeat of race 1.
Yeah, it's dropped Tony to 6th, which is a net 4. I think Jamie and Alex still need to pit, don't they?
Yeah, and Jamie McKnight, who is your extreme provisional race leader, who has not pitted. As Johnny dispatches Alejandro and leaves Adam Wright to do the next job on him. Adam will possibly be wishing for an Alejandro pit stop.
Yeah, because this is bringing Vincent back into it.
Yeah, actually, yeah, well, was, and is again now. There we go.
Isn't.
So, Adam won't want to do a move here, just in case Alejandro goes to pits, and he's not! Adam's going to be raging, I think.
Yeah, Alex is wringing it dry. Oh, he's going to get a run this time.
He is, yeah. This, you would hope, would be a done deal. Oh, a very done deal.
Yeah, I think once they get a run, Alex is being very sensible and not fighting them.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you could argue it's fair game, isn't it? He's on the racing lap. He's just owing a pit stop, so he's got all the fighting him he needs, to be honest. I think his tyres will be mush by now compared to the cars that surround him.
Oh, without a doubt.
Vincent Skilbeck pitted on lap 18, so he's one of the later ones, so he'll have plenty of grip here to do this job, which is now done.
Yeah, tucks it down the inside, job done.
Beautiful, beautiful overtake.
And
Tony Kloosterman, yeah, the most recent of all racers to have visited pit road, stuffs it right down the inside. He's not messing. Not messing.
Bit cheeky, that.
It was cheeky, but he's got it done.
So Tony's only advantage here is fresh rubber.
Yeah, as Alejandro services his car. But what else?
Cars in front of him all cry together, why couldn't you have done that 3 laps ago?
Yeah. So, Jamie McKnight is your standout provisional race leader. I'm saying it like that because he does owe us a pit stop. He has to pit at some point, and he's 21 seconds ahead of Johnny Brandon, and you need 36 seconds by the look of things. Minimum.
Yeah, He's going to come out, isn't he, around 8th, 9th,
8th,
10th?
yeah. 8th at best, I would say. Jamie Wilson's in that spot at the minute, so this is very race 1-esque. Johnny Brandon being chased by Adam, being chased by others.
Yeah, no, Adam pitted later than Johnny.
Yeah. By 4 laps. It's not a landslide. He was one of the first ones in your no man's land of decision making.
Yeah.
And I agree with you entirely. Why would you opt for it? You're not opting for the beginning of the window. You're not opting for the end of the window. You're not opting to cut the race in half. What do you actually gain from where you are? Clear track, but I don't think any of them got a clear track that did it.
No. I'm sure there's a reason. The reason could just be panic. Everybody else is pitted, I'm going to have to pit. But
Yeah.
they know something that I don't. You never know, do you?
No.
It's quite easy. I've had it done to me. I've had people put doubt in my mind. I've had a set plan, and then other people start doing something different, and I'm like, oh, what have I missed? Oh, I'll just do what they're doing and throw my plan out of the window. But yeah.
So, Tony Klosterman has crawled up very quickly onto the back of Vincent's car. Now, Vincent was really hard to overtake in race 1. They are many laps apart, though, Clyde. So there are we have Vincent. Oh, as Jamie McKnight pits. Oh, Tony Klosterman just spun it right in front of us.
Yeah. Yeah, that's put 2 other NQR cars in front of him.
It has. He's going to be raging, I think. Was he sizing him up? He looked like he had all the grip in the world, and he's gone in hot, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's gone in hot anyway, if you know what I mean, even without a car there.
Oh, that was close.
It certainly was. That was Bob Woodhouse that did some evasive driving there. Rich Warmingham, I'd say very out of position back here in 14th place.
Yeah, strange race for Steve LaValle and Rich Warmingham.
Yeah, Steve LaValle just a couple of places further forward. He's here, and if you look in the background, you can see Rich Warmingham racing against Dale Green. The car in between them is a back marker.
So is Johnny Brandon scared again?
I think he needs to be, because Adam is closing that gap down.
Old White Legs is going to get you.
So Rich Warmingham properly sizing Dale Green up. I think that's David Fernandez in front in the orange Gombrot Racing. Nice line there for Rich Warmingham. Should have a lot of speed. Shows his nose, but whoa, and he nearly got himself caught out there. Did you see that?
Yeah, it's that cheeky move, isn't it? That
Yeah.
The driver in front isn't expecting. And that's the sort of thing, as we were saying, you have to do on this track. You know, I called Tony's overtake cheeky. It is cheeky. But what you're basically doing is putting your car into a position where the other car could turn in on you.
Yes.
And you're trusting
that they won't.
They've seen you
Yeah.
and that they don't want to.
Yeah.
But Dale Green putting up a decent defence there. judging by his roof, he's from North USA.
North America. Oh dear. International relations have never been so good. I mean, bad. Now, Ivan with fresh rubber has caught Jason Haddington really fast. And this is quite a way down the rankings. We're now squabbling over 18th place, but points are points. These two are good racers. Rich Warmingham still slugging it out here with Del Green.
Yeah, I think just touching on Ivan and Jason, I think it would probably be fair to say that Jason is still learning the car.
Oh, yeah.
Ivan is a more experienced V8 racer, but Ivan has, look at this nicely, he's now ironed out a lot of the mistakes that he used to make, and now that he's safe, he's now looking to build speed, which is the right way to do it.
Yeah, yeah. I never made it to that point.
No, I got the safe part, but I could never add speed to it, so...
I didn't even get that far. So I think Vincent's closing in on the two at the front. He's got the newest tyres of the ones at the front. Seen a lot of these two today, fighting against each other.
I'm wondering if Johnny is doing exactly the same as he did in race 1 and just saving some of that rubber. Forcing Adam to use more rubber than he wants to, and then drive away towards the end. But that might not be as easy with a third car in the mix.
No, definitely not. So this is Alejandro closing in on Tyler. Now we're used to seeing Tyler racing. He's usually further forward. Alejandro new to the league, but definitely not new to winning races. When you look at his I rating, it's eye-wateringly high.
And Alex is on pretty much brand spanking new tyres.
True, yeah.
Tyres are 30 laps old.
Yeah, I can't believe that Tyler can even begin to imagine making it to the end. There's no way he can save that amount of fuel. It's not possible. So the leader's now been officially caught, Clyde.
Yeah. It's going to be 3 for the win shortly.
Yeah. As Vincent claws his way to the back of this little tiny queue. It's hotting up behind as well. This little group here, the NQR factory. all four are NQRs here. Oh, Adam is really getting onto it now. Like you say though, how do you even begin to pass?
Well, it's a mistake from the car in front, which you don't get very often out of Johnny, or one of those cheeky little throw it down the inside and see what happens. But again, you would like to think Johnny Brandon has been there, done that, seen it before and would see it coming, but you never know.
No. This is the driver's eye view of what I guess frustration looks like. It's one of those tracks, isn't it, where you're almost off the gas as much as you're on it. Was that a nudge? Was that a...
I think, yeah, there may have been a little...
Hello?
Yeah. think Adam is that type of driver, to be honest.
No,
but
he's not.
Adam is about to be under pressure from Vincent.
Well, he already is. If I do this, it looks exactly the same distance, doesn't it? So 3 for the lead, and back here it's all kinds of messy. So this is Nikolai Pierre chasing down Ant and Jamie, who've been inseparable for 2 races now. Steve LaValle further back is putting pressure on Rob Venn. Tyler and Rich Warmingham, Tyler and Alejandro are here together, but they've got a mega gap ahead of them before they find another car. So we'll focus on the top runners until somebody else gets even closer further back.
Yeah, Tyler's on damage limitation, isn't he?
Very. I can only believe he's got to come in again.
Well, with a splash and dash, if he did it now, he would only lose that 1 position to Alex.
Right. Oh my dear Lord! Did you see that?
Yeah, very close, but that's going to hurt him now for a couple of laps.
Red hot front tyres for Adam, and Vince looking to monopolise on that. Sorry, back here. Oh. Tony Kloosterman puts Bob Woodhouse down a position and then nails it. Oh, and it's going on here. Look, Ant. He's not going to do this. Jamie's managed. Oh no, he is going to do it now. Oh no, he's not.
Oh.
He'll be saying drat and things like that, Clyde.
Darn it.
Darn it, yes. So Rich Warmingham still chasing Dale Green and getting very, very hot at the top. Why can't they just organise themselves better throughout the race as to when they're going to race, so that they do the cameraman a favour, you know?
Well, they're inside the last 10 minutes. I've just seen Ivan off.
He did disappear off the track. I was watching the really close racing. I don't know what's caused this. I think he's just hot into the corner. Oh no, hot into the gas.
Hot out of the corner.
Yeah. I'd like to say
how easy this car can bite you.
Yeah, I'd like to say I've never done that, but I have. So that's that. And you're right, he's been driving the car for a very long time now, so still getting caught out by little bits and pieces, as everybody does. Nikolai Bier getting it sideways. Steve LaValle's found Rob Venn now. Rob Venn's having a good race. Just outside the top 10. Rich Warmingham still piling the pressure onto Dale Green.
Dale looked a little bit ragged there. The pressure's starting to tell.
They both pitted on lap 18, so there's nothing in it in terms of tyres.
A lead battle, please.
It's closed back up heavily, hasn't he, Adam?
Yeah, Johnny Brandon had a switch at the final corner, and Adam Wright was basically pushing him down the start-finish straight.
Right.
Thought he was going to dive, but he didn't.
Johnny's hitting the curbs heavy, isn't he? And he's giving an opportunity to Adam. This is just too close. Look at this. Vincent is right in this.
Yeah, Vincent's in that weird position, isn't he? Does he, if he puts pressure on Adam, then Johnny's going to get away. So his best possible finish. Oh, look out, look out.
Oh, he's not going to make this, surely. No.
Yeah, Vincent's best possible finish would be second, or does he hope for a coming together and steal the win?
Well, we've got a few things going on. Excuse me. So, Rich Warmingham did pass Dale Green further back. I didn't show it because of what was going on here. I can possibly show it very quickly now.
I'll let you know if anything happens up front.
Cheers.
There's a few car lengths through each car at the moment.
Yes, this is going to be a block pass into the penultimate corner, is that? No, not quite. Further around the track than I thought, so that's the job done.
I think Dale knew that was done, didn't he?
He did.
Fight.
So Tony Klusman's caught Nikolai now. And then these three are just pushing each other around the track. Steve Lavallee and Rob Venn still close together further back.
If these three are not careful, they're going to bring Tony Klusman back into this.
Well,
he's got past Nikolai.
He literally did. I think that was a multi-21. It looks a bit too easy. Or was it? Did he fight for it? No, he's definitely on the brakes a bit earlier than he should have been there and left loads of room, so that's that done.
So 5 minutes to go.
Lots of sliding from Adam's car there. The behaviour of the car says that his tyres don't feel great underneath him. Johnny's hitting every curb there is. And Vincent, yeah, I think you're right, he's just stalking,
Johnny had
isn't
a
he?
little lock up there.
Maybe he's feeling the pressure as Vincent took
Vincent.
a little dive. Oh, there's a car off.
He?
That's Jason Haddington off the track.
No.
No, really?
No, I'm not having that.
Vincent's dropped back from these two now. He's probably terrified.
Well, he had that lock up, didn't he, after trying a cheeky little dive, realising that Adam was closing that door or slamming that door shut.
Yeah. There's Chris Sherman's now found Alejandro. Rich Warmingham has found his own teammate Steve Lavallee. That's further back though. And we're going to stick with this because this could be race defining. Very short. Ooh, it would have been if Adam hadn't got masses of wheel spin. Adam's diamonding that last corner a lot more than Johnny is. He's benefiting from it, but not able to do much with it once he's got it. A bit like a dog chasing a car, isn't he? If he did ever catch it, he wouldn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to switch. Am I going to switch? Oh, I don't know whether I should do because there's like 5 cars in a mega train behind. Adam's trying this penultimate corner around the outside business again. Oh, he's nearly taking a pit stop. He was that far out.
Johnny's now going defensive.
He is. Sorry, I'm going to switch back because this lot have just joined each other. All of a sudden, 5-car train here, and this is for like 9th place or 8th place or something. Is that Nikolai at the front of the queue? Yeah, so this is for 8th. So good points on offer here. and they all want it. So this is Nikolai, Jamie, Ant Woodward, Rob Venn, Steve Lavalley. And I have to move back to the front because that's kicking off again a little.
Yeah, I'm not sure we're going to get another lap.
Oh,
It was really, really tight going over the line.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, I couldn't see if Barney was there. I was trying to pick a car that was crossing the line. Car number 13. Who's car number 13? Daniel Solo is going to cross the line soon.
Actually, no, they are going to get another lap.
Ah, right, okay.
I haven't got my glasses on. I thought it said 59, but it says 58.
Yeah, so probably
So
white lap.
This is the final lap,
Yeah. Still didn't see Barney.
Yeah, he's definitely there.
All right, okay. So here we go, folks. It's now or never. For a whole bunch of cars, I don't know how I'm going to manage this on cameras. It's going to be replay-tastic as Nikolai Bier just took a position from Jamie Wilson.
I'm really piling the pressure on.
There's another position just gone. Rob Venn went past Ant Woodward, so there's all sorts of shuffling. There's a shove. Or was it just early on the brakes from Johnny? Because it must have been, because the two cars behind are now on them. So we've got 4 for the lead here, potentially. As Tony Kloosterman has now bolted himself on the back of this group. What a great drive it is from him. After
Johnny was wiggling. Look at this. Look at this.
Adam trying the
On
outside.
The long way.
Oh, and
It's the long way
Vincent's on the
round.
inside. No, he's not. Johnny's bolted himself to the inside line there. And I think he's going to guarantee himself a good line out of the last corner. Oh, Vincent with a nudge. Adam with wheel spin. Tony out of control.
Tony sideways. Vincent's disappearing.
What's all going on?
What a finish.
What, that was ridiculous. Still going on further back, of course. Something happened earlier with the big group that came together because it split up. As someone, is that a driver's shame for Ant Woodward? I can only believe it is. Why would you pit on the last lap? Unless you, well, it's no point, is it, if you're low on fuel, so.
Is a drive of shame.
Is it? Right, okay. I'm glad we caught it on camera for him. I'm going to go back and have a look at some of this because whilst we were watching that lead battle, all sorts of things happened. So this was the first. Oh, Jamie got twitchy. Very twitchy, actually.
And again.
Yeah,
and again.
three goes at it. So he lost a position there. Didn't lose any more at that point. At the same time as that was happening. Sorry, I got the wrong one there. So whilst that exact thing was happening, the next one happened behind him.
Yeah, I think one then took a position, then lost 2.
Yeah. Oh.
Because of that.
Yes. Right, so that's what broke it all up. Right. That's answered lots of questions then. Phew.
Well, fantastic finish to that race.
Unbelievable, I'm knackered.
I thought that was a thoroughly enjoyable meeting around Winton. It could have been a whole lot worse.
Definitely.
Okay, so winner of the feature race, round 11, Johnny Brandon for XVR Holden. Adam Wright second for BSTV Esports Green, and Vincent Skilbeck third for Wheelie Bins Mayhem Republic. Tony Kloosterman was fourth for NQR, and Nikolai Bogatyrev in fifth for NQR Europe. Rob Woodhouse was sixth. Jamie McKnight in seventh. Nikolai Bier in eighth. Jamie Wilson was ninth with Steve Lavalley 10th. Rob Venn 11th. Rich Warmingham in 12th. Dale Green was 13th. Tyler Newitt was 14th. Alejandro Civillano in 15th and Woodward in 16th after that drive of shame at the end. Chris Sherburn in 17th, Jason Haddington 18th, 19th was Ivan Batmans, and David Fernandez in 20th.
Oops.
In 21st was Daniel Solo, and then non-finishing drivers. 22nd was Marco Lewert, and 23rd was JB Dejoux.
Crazy, Clyde.
Well, yes. Again, I'll take us back to pre-race when I said we either get fantastic racing or a bit of a cluster. I think both races we got absolutely fantastic racing, and highlighted by the fact that in both races everybody got through turns 1 and turn 2, Pete.
Yeah. They were very disciplined. You saw Johnny there get a really bad start, but in the second race, but it didn't affect anybody too much, and everybody was very disciplined getting through all these turns. Just great racing, really, and we see it every time. You know, cars that they split up as we get through the pit phase, and then they all come back together at the end. And we saw that high drama in a number of different places, right at the very end of the race. It seems to be what happens with V8s. It's just fantastic.
Yeah, and you know, and this is a big maybe, maybe the fact that the track was so difficult to overtake, um, cut down those, slim percentage overtakes, um, and drivers had to be a little bit more, go for the higher percentage moves, and therefore less carnage. I don't know.
Well, I'd like to think that in this league, there's so much experience and respect for both the cars and for the other drivers that whilst there were some, opportunistic little dives into corners or around the outside of corners, people give each other distance in this league. It's very respectful, but it doesn't inhibit the amount of competitiveness that we see in other leagues where the cars are, arguably easier to control. There's more assistance to the driver with what the driver experiences in terms of traction control and ABS and all the other finery pieces that you get on modern racing cars. And for that reason, they think they can take more liberties. Whereas in this car, in this league, people, whilst they are doing that what is required in order to try and take positions, they're not doing it recklessly.
No, I certainly can't disagree with you. But I think a thoroughly enjoyable night of racing. So let's kick the interviews off, Pete. Now, our races winner, Johnny Brandon, doesn't seem to be with us at the moment. I can't believe that he's not going to join us. So let's bring in second place in both races. Adam Wright, welcome to the booth.
Hi guys, how you doing?
Not too bad. That pesky Brandon, eh?
Yeah, we need to get rid of him. Sack him off, I reckon.
Now, the battle with him in race one. We see you applying a lot of pressure. We was told on the chat that Johnny was actually scared of you. And then he drove away. So, was it just a case of you overworked them tyres trying to put the pressure on, or do you think he was saving a bit, let you have your little bit of fun, and then disappeared?
Well, I hope he wasn't saving a bit, but no, I think I overworked the tyres from the beginning because I went quite aggressive on the cambers, and yeah, I made a roll bar change mid-race, and it just lit the car up. It was brilliant. And I thought I got a crack at this, and then it kind of started going away again. I went another step down on the rear, and it just didn't do the same adjustment. And at that point, he just found so much pace through the first chicane over me. His exit out there, I mean, he was just committed. Whereas if you go a little bit wide on the exit of that chicane, it's just death. So, yeah, no, he just outdrove me in the first race.
Okay, and race 2, it was although the positions weren't reversed, it looked like you was faster than him. He was doing all of the defending, but you couldn't quite find a way past.
It's impossible to pass around it. It's difficult when you've got a big enough delta over someone, let alone someone you're really close with on times. All you can do is just apply pressure. That's the only thing you can do. And he was fine with the pressure, it seems.
So, you know, I had a little grumble about pit stops. And, you know, for me, not that I'm anywhere near your pace, but you either pit when the pit window opens, before the pit window just closes, or halfway through the race. You, to me, seem to pit in a bit of no man's land. Do you think maybe that cost you a win?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I know obviously it looks like it because Johnny pitted before me, but the pit window opened up really early here, and the tyres just go off terribly, so you don't want to be on them for too long. And I saw Johnny go in, but there was at that point I just got past Steve Lavallee, and I was contemplating going in as soon as it opened when I was stuck behind him. But because I got by him, there was a bit of a gap to Bob, and I thought I'll close that gap up, and then I'll pit. Because if you're in a bit of clear air at the start of a stint, you're not going to gain much by pitting early to go for the softs. You'll lose more towards the end of that second stint. So I pitted as soon as I got behind Bob, and yeah, that was it really. That's how it played out, and I think that's why I was stronger towards the end because I had 3 or 4 lap fresher tyres than Johnny, and I took a load of camber out from the first race. So yeah, I think I ran an optimal strategy.
Okay, we'll agree to disagree on that one. Well, you know, that aside, some big points for you tonight. So you must be happy with your night's racing.
Yeah, I needed it. I've missed a round, and I've had 1.5 rubbish rounds. So there's no challenging for the championship for me. So really, I'm just thinking more about the teams, getting good results, just try and get a bit of credibility back, and seeing what I can do to help Tyler, really.
Okay. Well, before we let you go, any shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, guys in the chat, Tyler, Rob. Oh my God, Jason. There you go. And JB disappeared early. So shout out to them. You guys for putting on the broadcast and running the league, and Simability for helping you do that.
Excellent. Well, congratulations on 2 fantastic results, Adam Wright.
Cool. Cheers.
Okay, Pete, I knew he couldn't resist us, so over to you for our double race winner, Johnny Brandon.
Good evening, Johnny. How are you doing?
I'm good, Pete. Thanks.
I'm sure you are. Won both races. Second one, you won from 10th place because that's the pleasure you get from winning the first one. Dead easy, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, of course it won't.
So, tell us about the first race. You and Adam, it was very, very close the whole way. You seem to have it mastered, and Adam's just said that his tyres went to mush because he tried some very challenging cambers, which lit up his race for some of it, but then pushed him back at the end. Race 2, though, you were one of the very first people to pit. Were you onto something that other people hadn't twigged to?
Well, it turns out I was. but I wasn't actually onto it. I need to thank Jamie Wilson for that one
Ah, okay.
because he pitted. We were just all in a. It's so you cannot pass around here.
No, yeah,
You
we saw that.
cannot pass
Yeah.
unless somebody makes a mistake. Then you have to sort of jump on it fairly aggressively and then try and make it work. But other than that, unless you do a complete lunge dive bomb, you're not passing.
Mm.
So I was just in a train in the set. The first race was great. Let's go back to that. The first race was
Yeah.
great, and I just managed it. Tyler made the mistake. Vincent made a mistake,
Mhm.
and let me pass. And as soon as you're in the lead, because it's so difficult to pass, I was just like, right, that's it. Just cruise. Just don't make any mistakes. So looked after the tires. Knew the tire wear was bad round here, and it's exponentially worse if you're behind another car
Oh, right.
as well.
Where it's
So
lifting the weight off the front of yours.
well, it was for me anyway. Because when we practice, we go out in a group together and
Mhm.
follow. And the difference when you're behind someone was ridiculous at this track.
Right.
You got the pace, you can sit with them, but it smashes your tires to bits. So, or it did for our car anyway. So I was happy to get in the lead of race one. I thought that's it. I've just got to cruise it. Race two, I thought it's going to be a nightmare from 10th. Got no chance. I'll just save fuel, see where we go in the train. And we were so slow. And Jamie Wilson pitted behind me. And I thought, oh, that's not a bad idea. And looked at my fuel, and I thought, yeah, I can get my fuel in. I'm gonna do the same thing and see what happens, and see if I can make it to the end. Because track position is king.
Mhm.
So if I can nail the first couple of laps, then I might have a chance of a decent finish. I wasn't expecting to be in the lead.
Well, we
So
were watching car after car dropping astern of you, and Adam to a point, but it just seemed like you'd twigged onto something brilliant.
I knew
Um,
I needed to push, like when I first got the new tyres, because I needed to close the gap because I was quite a way behind. I had quite a decent amount. I couldn't just cruise and look after my tyres too much because I wouldn't have made up the time on the people in front. So I knew I had to push, but in my head at the same time I'm thinking, oh my god, I've got 42 minutes to go on these tyres or whatever it was. I cannot keep pushing like this, and eventually then I backed off, and I didn't realize Adam was behind me and he pitted. I had no idea where I was, and I think Steve come on the radio and said, oh, I said, does anyone know who's pitted and who hasn't? And he said, Adam's pitted, I think he's behind you. And I looked, and there he was on the delta right behind me, about 3 seconds back. And I thought, that's it, I think I've just got to cover him off, so I'll just look after my tires now because he's gonna catch me. And I tried to look after him, and for the last 2 or 3 laps, it was pure luck. I stayed. I had a massive moment coming out of the first chicane, about 3 or 4 laps to go, and how I survived that, I don't know. Pure luck. And the car was it was dead. It didn't want to brake. It didn't want to put traction down. It didn't want to turn. It was completely dead for the last 2 laps. So
we saw it
very
getting
happy to
pretty
keep that.
twitchy. Yeah.
Got to say a big thank you to Adam because I was pretty slow for the last couple of laps, and he was incredibly clean in race 1 and race 2 on a track that encourages you to be aggressive. It must have been incredibly frustrating for him to sit there behind me because I was in big trouble for the last few
We've
laps.
just given him a bollocking and told him he should have punted you.
Well, I would give him a big hug and say, well done, Adam. Thank you.
If you met him, mate, you wouldn't give him a big hug.
Maybe, but I haven't met
Honestly,
him.
not.
This is the internet world, so I can be nice, and he's nice.
No, good. Well said, and good stuff. Your teammates, where were they in the second race? Steve LaValle, a bit further back normally than Rich Warmingham of late, but Rich Warmingham had a bit of a coming together at the beginning of the race, which set him back. You don't want to crash at the beginning, do you? If you're going to crash anywhere, do it later on in the race because the entire field is going to pass you, and that's what happened to him. Bit sad for him. But
Again, he had good pace.
oh, he was very
So-
quick, very quick. He was putting
we
people
didn't-
behind him.
We didn't do it. We weren't looking forward to this. It's funny
Right.
how it works out. This is probably the least amount of practice we've done for a race since I started the V8s.
Right.
Not just this season, ever. It was none of us were enjoying it. We were all pretty busy, didn't have a lot of time, and normally we put in probably 5 nights at least of a couple of hours a night of trying to get a set up and doing laps. I think we did 3 in total
Right.
for the maximum, maybe 2, I think, actually. And all of us were like, oh my God, this is going to be a nightmare. And yeah, so I'm pleased I had a good result. I think Rich was a bit unlucky. I heard him a bit frustrated in the Discord when it happened. I don't know what happened or who with.
It was when you watch the replay, it was the tiniest of touches. Yes, there
Yeah.
was a touch, but it was the tiniest of touches.
That's what I mean. It's so tight round here. If you're having a battle with people, both people need to be ultimately respectful. Otherwise, it's going to go wrong.
Yeah,
because it's just such a nightmare track. And then Steve, I think Steve made a couple of mistakes on his own. I think because I think out of the 3 of us, he's done the least amount of practice by a long way. So he was pretty quick, but yeah, we just get a bit of consistency by practicing and didn't really have a chance to do it.
Right. Well, brilliant.
But I might stop practicing if that means I win both races.
Yeah,
so yeah,
totally.
We need to cut it down.
Yeah. So brilliant double victory. Anybody you'd like to thank before we let you go, other than Adam for being a fair and clean racer?
Adam for being great. I really enjoyed that, and Jamie Wilson for the pit stop strategy because I would never have done it if I didn't see him going. Yeah, he really was responsible for that because I would just thought, oh my God, he's going to jump me and track position. I'm going to be stuffed. So thank you, Jamie. All my teammates, you guys for doing the broadcast. Simability for sponsoring it. Yeah, that's about it.
Awesome stuff. In that case, hopefully we'll see you out at Indianapolis Road Course next time out. That's on the October 29th. Johnny Brandon. Yeah, Johnny Brandon. Well done.
Thanks, guys. Good night.
Okay, so Johnny there going for Tyler's world record of longest interview. So let's bring in Tyler, shall we, and see if he can beat it. Tyler Newitt, welcome to the booth.
Hello.
Hello. So let's talk about race 1 first. Got yourself there on the podium.
Well, we could talk about qualifying first because I wasn't going to let you not drag me in on my first pole.
I didn't actually know it was your first pole, to be honest. I was going to say, a podium finish after gaining the pole position, and that was such a tight battle, wasn't it, between yourself, Johnny, and I think Adam. No, it wasn't Adam up there, was it? It was Vincent.
It was Vince, yeah.
Hardly anything between you, and then it went a little bit wrong.
A little bit. I mean, that first race was just going to be a matter of who could get off the line well, and Vince, if ever there was a place not to get the pole, you set yourself up pretty poorly for the first couple of corners on the inside there. So Vince got the jump on me, and then, I mean, the 4 of us, I think, had pretty equivalent pace, and it was just a matter of who made the fewest mistakes, and that was Johnny and Adam. So they got the jump on me. I took a little bit to get in the rhythm. I've got a new pedal set, which is the reason for my race 2. But it was, just a matter of kind of getting my feet under me, quite literally.
Yeah, interesting you say about race 2 because you going into the pit lane totally threw us, and we was like, well, we know Tyler can save fuel, but surely that's a bit too far. Then on the chat, French Simon, I think, said something about a jump start. So I went back and had a look, and it was one of those weird ones, wasn't it, where you moved, stopped, and then went again.
Yeah, I just, with my old brakes, I always kind of adjusted right before the lights are about to go just to be ready for the jump. And these brakes are quite a bit stiffer, and I just took too much pressure off and started rolling and caught it too late. I did the same in the first race, but I didn't roll as far, so I didn't get the jump start. But Yeah, I'm pretty sure I said in the team chat, you know, well, if this isn't going to go my way, at least I can confuse Pete and Clyde for a bit.
No, well, you,
Doesn't
you
so
take
certainly
much.
did that. But one question that we didn't see at the end: did you splash and dash, or did you
no,
manage to save?
no, I saved to the end. It was difficult, but I had enough for the cooldown lap, so I oversaved a bit. But it was there. I was lucky in a way because I saw beforehand when I was, you know, kind of doing a little practice before the race. I saw it was going to be a short fill, so I'm like, I wonder, you know, what I would need to save to make it if there was a safety car. So I had that number in my mind. Um, and it turned out you could, you know, assuming the safety car was at least 2 or 3 laps, you could save enough to not pit. It might not have been the quickest way, but you know, if you get in trouble with the safety car, stuff like that. So I was fortunate that I had figured that out because then I knew what number I had to hit, and it was just a matter of hitting it, and it was not fast and it was not fun, and my VR was jumping around on me, so that wasn't fun either. It was um, probably the toughest drive I've had. You know, even even with the race last week with the battle at Watkins Glen, but that was yeah, it was tough.
Okay, well, that explains a few things anyway. So, any shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
Yeah, Adam is always with just another great weekend. It's a shame he's had some stinkers and missed a couple because he would definitely be right up there again. And it seems like the championship's up for grabs this season since I've still got a shot, which shouldn't be the case. But yeah, no, just shout out to Adam and everyone else in the chat. Rob had a couple of good races, I think, and JP and Jason as well. Shout out to you guys for the broadcast and to Simability.
Excellent. Well, congratulations on your race 1 result, and better luck with your pedals next time in race 2. Tyler Newitt.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
See what I did there, Pete? Shortest ever interview with Tyler. Right, so we've got Vincent and Tony left to bring in. I'm going to bring Vincent in first purely because he did get a podium in race 2.
Good evening, Vincent. How are you doing?
Hello.
Hello. How is Australia today? Is it good?
It is very good, actually.
Yeah. Well, your racing is good as well because you finished third in the feature race. What was your finishing position in the first one?
Fifth.
Fifth.
Five.
Fifth. So, yeah, it's you were qualified very high up, weren't you? It was between you, Tyler, and Johnny for about 1/10 of a second or something ridiculous. 1/100th, sorry, of a second. So that was as tight as you like. And then, did you get like muscled out in that first race?
No, I just snatched a break and locked up, and yeah, that's the reason why they got through. And then the next 2 laps, I couldn't recover just because the tires was that hot. I kept locking
Right.
up again, so
Yeah. We've
I
had,
just had to back it off more and let the car come back to me.
yeah, we've had a few people say that the tyre wear on this track in particular is extreme. And it takes a long time to recover the tyres if you do have a lock up or scrub them a bit too heavily with an aggressive camber set.
Yeah, I that first race, I checked my setup after the first race, and the tires were like 90%. I was like, I still had lots of tire left, but it didn't feel like it. But yeah, that second race, I think I took a bit more out of them, but I didn't check tire wear after the second race.
No, and new livery for today. The black and gold. That's a bit of a change up from the usual wheelie bins colour scheme.
Yeah, I thought I'd change it in a little bit for this week, being at Winton. Just kind of like a Commodore tribute skin for this week, and then I'll go back to the other one next week.
Right. Yeah. Very good. And then talk to us about the second race. So you started in 6th, I'm going to go with, if you finish 5th or 5th. And
Yeah.
you brought your way back to a podium finish, albeit at the bottom step. But right at the end, you must have been gagging for just a little bit of track to stick that car in on the inside of Adam, or were you waiting for the two of them to come together and offer you up the golden chalice of the top spot?
No, I was actually trying to get close enough to Adam to actually make a dive. I had a couple of attempts, and realized I wasn't close enough, so I realized I had to be like right on the back of Adam's bumper coming out of a corner if I was going to make a dive into the next corner. But yeah, when it got towards the last couple of laps and they were kind of side by side for some of it, I was secretly hoping that they'd tap each other and slow each other up and that I could just get around both of them, take the win. But no, it was good racing.
Yeah, it looked very, very good, very clean, even if it was very hard racing. And Tony Klusterman approached the back of your car very rapidly in the closing stages of the race. Were you worried that he had the grip on his tyres because he pitted very late, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. But just after he come out of the pits, when he caught me, just down to the left-hander coming towards the back straight, um, for him, I linked at the critical spot, and which kind of stuffed his brake marker up, and that's why he rotated and lost a couple of spots.
Oh,
So I
yeah,
think
yeah.
he hurt his tires a little bit from that. Yeah, I was watching him coming, and I was like, he'll catch us in, I don't know, 2-3 laps from the end, and but yeah, it all come down to that last corner. It was pretty good.
It was a fantastic race. Next time out, we're at Indianapolis on October 29th. Do you like racing around Indy road course?
To be fair, I have not run a lap at Indy Road at all.
Ah, right, okay.
I have, I think, in a Mazda a long time ago. But yeah, since they updated it, I have not actually had a go on it yet. So that'll be something I'll have to get my head around in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it should
it'll
be
be
an
interesting.
experience for you then, definitely. Anybody you'd like to
Yeah.
have a shout out to before we let you go?
Just everyone over at Wheelie that keeps us running and supporting us throughout the whole year. Everyone in the league for the awesome racing tonight and the awesome racing that's been happening all season. Guys for the broadcast and Simability for supporting the season once again.
Awesome stuff. In that case, we shall let you go back to bed because you do get up at stupid hours in the morning in order to race in this league. Can't echo your sentiment about the racing more than you've already done because it is fantastic this season. And we will see you next time out. Vincent Skillback.
Yeah, catch you guys next time.
I loved the way you congratulated him on his podium and then ripped it out from under his feet by telling him it was the bottom step.
Yeah.
Very classy from Mr. Bingham.
Nice.
Okay. Last but not least, let's bring in Mr. Tony Klusterman. Welcome to the booth.
How you doing, Clay?
Hello. Race one, qualified 8th, finished 7th. It was a hell of a battle in race one between Team NQR and Team XVR. You just seem to be chasing each other around the track for the whole race.
Yeah, it's like a bit of a procession, isn't it?
Yeah, a very, very difficult track to overtake on. Although I can't remember if it was race 1 or race 2. We see you do the classic cheeky inside dive move, which does seem to work around here.
Yeah, I tried to be careful when I did that. And we didn't touch anybody, so that was good. But yeah, there was a couple of spaces where, or a couple of places where that would work. Um, you know, race one basically it was just be in a procession, take your position, and have a good starting place for the second race. You know.
Yeah, and you know, interesting that the second race. What do you think you needed? Another 5 laps? You know, on your fresher tyres, do you think you could have found a way past those three in front of you?
Well, I was hoping that would happen. I had a really bad pit entry, really bad pit entry. It was I don't know what it was in time comparisons to others, but I probably lost 2 or 3 seconds there. And then I had one moment behind Vince when he disappeared on me, and I missed my braking point and half spun and lost 2 positions there. If that hadn't happened, I think I might have had a chance near the end there, but they were racing pretty hard to keep their positions, so who knows?
Yeah, well, yeah, we were saying it looked like, you know, Adam had the pace on Johnny, and as soon as they started battling, Vincent caught him. Then you was like almost on him, and you know, with the fresher tires, you know, it might have made a difference. And then, like you say, without that little half spin that Pete accidentally caught on the cameras,
You're
it
getting
could have
better,
been
Pete.
I know,
different.
yeah.
But you know, is this a change of fortunes for Tony Kloosterman?
Oh God, let's hope so. It's been pretty awful for a long, long time. So to have two relatively clean races and you know a fourth position there in the second race, and you know maybe knocking on the door for the podium, you know it's looking up a little bit. We'll see. You know that gap went from 5.5 seconds down to 1 second fairly quickly. So who knows? I
Yeah. Sorry, and you know, on the Discord chat earlier in the week, a track that you probably haven't got on with too well, shall we say?
Uh, I just think it's not a great track for iRacing to race on, just because it's really really difficult to pass, and I think the only way they really pass in real life is kind of putting the bumper to the next guy, and in iRacing that really doesn't work out very well because the collision boxes on these cars there's still need some refining, I think.
Yeah. So you know, one extreme to the other. Next week, or sorry, next time out, we go the wrong way round Indianapolis. Again, it's always been to me a strange track. I don't know if it's because you go the wrong way round, or I don't know what it is, but I've never really got on with that track. What do you think to Indy Road Course?
Yeah, I haven't driven the new configuration. I believe they've changed a number of corners, so I'll have to get reacclimatized with it. It's a very flat track. There's no elevation changes whatsoever, other than the little piece where you get on the banking, if you even get on the banking anymore. So I guess I'll have to get some laps in the next couple of weeks and see if I can find some pace. Tyler's already threatened to be very good there because he says he enjoys that track. So we'll see.
Yeah, well, he's got to get his starts right before he can finish anywhere up the field. So I wouldn't
Yeah.
worry too much about that. Well, before we let you go, Tony, any shout outs you want to give?
Simability for sponsoring the league, obviously, and a sponsor that we've carried for years. Wild Rides and Woodward's e-bike company. So if anybody's looking for an e-bike or needs a repair on a bike, give Ant a shout. Obviously, you guys for doing the broadcast and you know our teammates. We had really good team results today, so it was nice to see a number of cars in the top 10 in both races.
Excellent. Well, let's hope this is the start of Tony Kloosterman getting up towards the pointy end of the grid again. Always a pleasure to talk to you, Tony Kloosterman.
Take care, guys. Thank you.
Right, Pete, it's time to put ourselves on the spot, or should I say it's time to put you on the spot first, with the driver of the evening vote.
Oh, there's a few, isn't there? Can you ignore Johnny Brannan getting 2 victories? It's difficult. The first race, he was near the front in the start. The second race, he really wasn't. He worked that. He passed more other cars than anybody else in that race. Nikolai Pierre up 5 positions in the second race and top 8. Kept it pretty clean, in fact very clean, and has finished in a really decent spot for someone new to our league. Alejandro Sevillano, he was at the back a lot of the race, but came through quite a lot of positions in order to finish in the second race. I'm going to go on a wild one here. I like the fact that Nikolai got through so many positions. Some of them gifted to him, I understand that. But he's done a great job of keeping his car out of trouble and bringing it up the field and finishing in 8th place. So for me, tonight, Nikolai Bier.
Okay. I agree that there's a lot of drivers that could get my vote tonight. I say Johnny Brandon 2 wins. Can't vote for Johnny because A, it's Johnny, and B, he won. 2 great results from Adam Wright, but if I can't vote for Johnny for getting 2 wins, I really can't vote for Adam for getting 2 seconds. A couple of great results for Vincent tonight. Tony Kloosterman, a couple of top 10s. I think Nikolai Bogatyrev, a couple of top 10s. But I'm going for Bob Woodhouse. I like to see a driver up there that I'm going to say is unexpected, but it shouldn't be because we know how good Bob is. He just doesn't always put together the full package. But I think he's done that tonight with 2 6th place finishes. So, yeah, I'm going for Bob Woodhouse tonight because I think they were 2 flawless drives. So, yeah, that's my vote. So, that was rounds 10 and round 11. Coming up in the next 7 days on BSTV, we're back straight away. We're back tomorrow. We're back with GT3 cars. We're back with the GTCC series. Season 3, round 7 from Hungaroring. Now, we have had some absolutely fantastic racing in that series, and I'm pretty sure we're going to get exactly the same again tomorrow. And then Wednesday, we are back in TCR action with rounds 11 and 12 from one of my favourite tracks, Sebring. So that's going to be a bit of a draft fest, Pete. That's going to keep the pack together.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
I'm sure that will be a good one. So basically, that's the end of tonight's broadcast. A big thank you to everybody that joined in on the chat. Massive thank you to the drivers for putting on such a fantastic show tonight on what is a very, very tricky track. We could have had safety cars, we could have had basically anything go on, but the racing was clean, fair, and massive fun, at least for me to watch anyway. Even more fun for Pete to try and keep up with. Big thanks to Simability for their continued support with the series. It's absolutely great to have them on board. And obviously, big thanks to Pete for joining me in commentary and doing the cameras. It's not particularly easy, but I think he's getting better week in, week out. But don't tell him that. So just leaves me to say goodnight. I should say goodnight, then let Pete say goodnight, and then we'll disappear. So good night, everybody. Thanks for watching, and stay safe.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Thanks to all the drivers. everybody watching, and Simability for the work that they do for people less fortunate than the rest of us. Good night, everyone.